Hey, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? I hope you're having a great Saturday so far and that your week has gone incredible. Can you believe that it's the last week of the 6 week challenge? I feel like it's gone by so quickly, like the phrase time flies. Y'all know it. It just seems to ever prove itself true as the years go by and as the weeks go by and as the days go by as well. So, in week 6, what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about gratitude. We're gonna focus right on how far you've come, right? What the journey has been, and then where you're gonna be going, right? We're gonna set an action plan in place. So whether you choose to continue on at Schwefel Strength or you choose to go and do your own thing, that you're going to be set up, you're going to be prepped, and you're going to know what to do in order to continue to get the results that you want, right? So it's going to be huge, huge, huge. Now, in case you haven't already, right, we're going to go through what we go through every single time, and that's the first couple things that were in the healthy lifestyle blueprint. So I'm going to turn this camera around real quick. We'll go over it. So if you haven't already, please go ahead and check out and fill out the 1% better every day, right? That's something that you want to make sure that you adopt in your head. And the reason that I say that, or at least you consider it, right, because it is a simple way to improve greatly every single day, right? Now think about it. If you focus on just getting 1% better, that's it, 1% better every day, then that's a simple task. That's something very small that you can do. And over time, it begins to build and it begins to compound, right? That's the way that we have great accounts, like bank accounts work. That's the way that we train, and incremental progress over time will prove to yield the best results. So if we haven't filled that out, please go ahead and fill that out. And we're at the end here, right? But this still can apply. Are you still ready to change your existing nutritional and health habits? How ready are you to change and how willing? And this is a good time to reflect. If you did write this down, what did you believe that you were going to accomplish over the last 6 weeks, right? What was it that you wanted to see change, and did you see those things change? Of course, your 5 whys, you can review that. And if your whys have changed, then this is the perfect time to print out a new sheet and then fill that out, right? Because we are setting ourselves up for the next 6 weeks and beyond. Now we have week 1, we have week 2, we have week 3, we have week 4, we have week 5, we have week 6, and this is where we are at. We're all in gratitude. So with that being said, right, you want to make sure that you fill out your week 5. Why is that like that? Your week 5 review, right? So we'll actually go here and we'll show you week 6. What were your 5 wins from the week? What will you do to improve for the next week? What are the things in your personal life, your work life, your family life that you want to do? And then what are you looking forward to, right? What are you looking forward to coming up next? So let's take a second, and I want to remind you just about, let's get that there. All right. Just about how far you've come, right? Now we started this 6 weeks ago, so maybe a little bit longer than that now, right? At that time, what was it that you expected, right? When you came into this challenge, what was it that you wanted to accomplish? Did you want to lose inches? Did you want to learn how to exercise? Did you just want to get into a consistent routine? Were you looking for the nutritional aspect? What exactly was it? Now, when you think about that, right, I want you to think about what you did along the way in order to get to that. Did you accomplish those goals? Did you meet your expectations? Did you get 1% better every day? Or maybe if it wasn't 1% better every day, was it 7% better every week? With that as well, this is the fun part. I want you to look at the physical aspects, right? Now, when you came in, how difficult were the exercises, right? Were they challenging? If they were challenging, what was it that was challenging about them? Was it your strength levels? Was it the mobility? Was it just learning something new? Like when we come into the gym, you're learning a new language, what a sit out means, what a knee grab is, what's the movement that comes along with that, all the breathing that comes too, right? Breathing in at a certain point, breathing out at a certain point. With all that, right, think about the improvements that have been made. Think about how your clothes are fitting differently. Think about how your mental attitude is differently, how now you've made that consistent routine into coming into the gym and then getting your workout in and then going every day with that, right? There's something that ended up happening, and it wasn't necessarily externally that happened, it was internally how that happened, and then those changes ended up being made. So this week, check out, what was your first knee grab? What was your first squat max? What was your first plank max? What was your first push-up max? What was your first sit-up max? With all these things, what was your first? And then, right, we've done it 2 or 3 times now, and then coming up we'll have a few as well. With that being said, how have you improved? Have you noticed that? I remember seeing a few people with squat thrust, for example. They may have had 20 their first week, and then they had, I think it was like 34 by the third time that they did it. That's a huge improvement. The same thing with a plank. We had a few people who started at 1 minute, and then within their third or fourth week, right, they got that 4-minute plank. They were able to get it done. So I think that's absolutely incredible. And we've seen the bodily changes as well. Think about that. How have your eating habits changed? How have your, thoughts about eating changed? Your hydration. We talked with a few people. I remember talking with a few of our members, right? And these are challenge members. Right at the beginning, man, they were drinking, I think it was like 10 to 13 Cokes a day. And within the first 2 weeks, they were to eliminate and reduce that down to about, I think it was like 5 to 6 to maybe 7 Cokes a day. That's huge. That is absolutely huge. And by now, right, they're probably down to about 3. I have to check in, but they're probably down to about 3 Cokes a day. Yo, going from 14 to 3 is a huge win. Think about those non-scale victories, right? We talk about those in the afternoon. Those non-scale victories make a huge difference, right? Because sometimes we don't see that scale move as quickly as we would like. So when you think about these things, there's a certain feeling that comes in, and it's that feeling of gratitude. Like, you are the person that did this. Give yourself credit. You're the one who came in consistently. You're the one who changed your eating habits. You're the one who changed the thoughts about eating. You're the one that created these changes in your life. And that is absolutely incredible. Think about the power that brings, right? You have control over the things that you eat, when you exercise, your time. And that I think is the most precious gift, right? Because sometimes life comes at us and it seems like everything's hitting us from every direction. There's some type of accident that happened over here, and a family member has this happening, and then we have all of our own problems that come into life too. And I don't know about you guys, but I always want to reach out for support, and I want to help people. Sometimes that causes you to spread thin, and you aren't even able to take care of yourself. Well, in this 6-week challenge, my main purpose for y'all was to create that environment so that you could see that, 1, you have control over your time and your life and your food, but 2, that you're able to make that time for yourself, and the people around you are going to still be okay, right? They're still going to be okay. You're creating those boundaries, and what you're actually doing for those people is you're teaching them to rely upon themselves just as you are. You're leading by example, and that is huge. That is huge. Because we can tell people, right, and I know this as a coach, we can tell people all day and all night what to do. However, it's not until we make that choice ourselves to do that thing that we're going to do it, right? I see that with kids a lot, right? Kids aren't going to want to do something unless they want to do it. So with this being said, look at how much you've done, right? Not because you were told, but because you wanted to make those changes within your life. So congratulations, high five. You are amazing, you're incredible, you're unstoppable, you give maximum effort. So now that we've taken a look in the past about everything that you've done, let's fast forward to the present and then a little bit to the future. Now with the present, we're going to measure, and I have this right up here, I'm going to show you in just a second. We want to measure what your progress was from day 1, week 1, to week 6, right? And how are we going to do that? That's going to be with our weight, that's going to be with our pictures, and that's going to be with our measurements. I'm going to turn this around real quick so that we can see. All right, now you'll find this on the last page of the blueprint, and I'm going to send it to you too so that you'll have it there. No worries. And you don't worry about filling out all of this right up here. If you didn't do that along the way, that's fine. What we're looking for is week 1, right? and then the date if you have it up there, and then we're looking for week 8 weight and then date as well. What we're also looking for is going to be our pictures, right? If you have them from week 1, I believe you sent those to me, and then we're going to have week 6 right here, right? And the last thing, of course, is going to be our pre-measurement challenge, right? I have those. If you have them available, send them to me. And then we have your after as well. So then we can see what the total amount of inches that you lost was, right? Now, what I want you to do is take these with a grain of salt, okay? I want you to take these with a grain of salt. I want you to celebrate the wins that you have, but if you didn't get the wins that you expected or the wins that you wanted, please, 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 please acknowledge that, but don't let it bring you down, okay? Don't let it bring you down. Fitness is not a sprint. Health is not a sprint. Nutrition is not a sprint. And working out certainly is not a sprint. And what I mean by it being not a sprint, I mean that that what you want to get done will not be accomplished within 6 weeks. Okay, this was the start. This was the beginning of the journey, right? For a lot of us, this may be an acceleration for some as well. Within those 6 weeks, right, like we talked about, we learn the proper eating habits, we learn the proper sleep, we learn the proper hydration, watching your food as far as the food journaling goes, and those recommended recovery ideas that come along with it, right? You were equipped with the tools and the resources necessary in order to continue this for a longer period of time, right? Hopefully, this sounds big, but for the rest of your life, but for a long period of time. Now is the time where we continue to apply, right? Because you've built that momentum. Coming in for consecutive weeks, right? It takes, I believe the old adage is 21 days to make a habit. And they actually did a study where it takes 66 days to solidify that and then to ingrain that within yourself, right? So with that being said, we've got 46 times 7. We've gone about 7, and now we're going about 7 weeks. Yeah, we've got about 42 to 49 days, right, that we've done this. So we've got about 20 more to really solidify it. But if you got it, you've got it. Now continue this, right? Continue to track your food. Continue to watch your water intake, continue to get your better sleep, continue to train and exercise, even if it's not with us at Schwefel Strength, right? Continue to move, to walk, and to build up your endurance and your physical endurance, your strength, your physical strength, your absolute, your speed strength, your mental strength, and your emotional strength, because it's only going to benefit you in the end, right? With that being said, what are the next steps? What's the action plan for the future? So, if you want to continue with Schwefel Strength, we have a couple of different options. We have the pay per class, which is $12 per class. If you're looking to come about twice a week, then we have the 10 sessions for $100, and that's going to be your best bet, right? And then we also have the unlimited, so if you're looking to come 3 or more times per week, that's going to be your best, and that's going to be $100 a month, right? Now, this is the last time I'm going to be offering these prices, right? Because, from here, I'm going to include a nutritional program, which I want to mention to you. It's called ProCoach, and it's just this wonderful software that teaches and educates you on nutrition, right? What's going on. It helps out with self-awareness and personal development, and it works on what's happening internally as well as what's happening externally. We have a few people who have done this, that are doing this. Esther and Willis are in there. Heather, who's at 6 a.m., is there. Gina Bradley is in there. So if you'd like to reach out and ask them about the program, please feel free. And if you're interested, right, to try this out, whether you are continuing or not continuing training, it's $19 per month. That's it. That's all I'm charging. I wanted to make it such an easy offer. Like, this is a no-brainer. And okay, so we have that. So if we're doing both the unlimited training and ProCoach, right, that would be $119 per month. Right, so that's what we have going on there. Now, say that you choose to not continue, right? The options are the action plan that's coming up. So what I'd like you to do, and if it's right now would be the perfect time, right? Because we're watching this. Right now, write out what is it that you're going to do. How many times are you going to work out per week, right? Is it going to be 2 times per week, 3 times per week? What are you going to do? So we want to write that out. You want to write out your name, Eric Schwefel's action plan, right? And we're going to start with exercise. So exercise, and you write it out, right? Actually write this out. It makes such a difference. We end up retaining, what's the number? We end up retaining, I believe it's 42% more of what we write down than if we just say it. So write down, I am committed to training 2 to 3 times per week. Make it definite, 3 times per week. When I train, one day will be resistance training, weightlifting. I will walk one day and I will do yoga the next day, right? Nutrition. I am committed to eating 80% of my plate. I'm committed to eating 3 to 5 servings of vegetables per day. I'm committed to eating a palm's worth of protein at every meal. And I'm committed to drinking half of my body weight in water per day, right? If that works for you, find what works for you. And now once you write these down, it's going to start going off in your head that this is what I need to do, right? How can I make this become a reality? And you'll start noticing your habits change once you write these things down. Sleep would be our next one. So you want to write down sleep. I'm committed to getting at least 7 hours of sleep per night. If I wake up at 6 a.m., this means I must go to bed by, and that would be 11 p.m. max, right? You need to be in bed by 11 p.m. max. And lay out this plan, right? So we got nutrition, we got exercise, we got sleep. What's one more thing? Stress, right? Let's talk about stress. I am committed to might be something stress relieving. To taking an Epsom salt bath 2 times per week. And you write that down, right? Whatever it may be for you to relax. Maybe it's cooking a really nice dinner. Maybe it's going out to eat 1 time per week, right? To a restaurant that you really like. Maybe it's taking an Epsom salt bath. Maybe it's going to see a movie. Maybe it's a date night with your spouse. Maybe it's taking a trip somewhere, right? A day trip somewhere. Whatever it is that whatever it is that you relax with, right? Go for that and write that down. So you want to write down your name and the action plan, right? So I would be Eric Schwefel's action plan and your name's action plan. Exercise would be the first category. I'm committed to working out how many times per week and what are you going to do? The second thing is going to be your nutrition. What are you committed to doing nutritionally? Is it eating better food? Is it drinking enough water? Is it maybe buying pre-made meals so that you don't have to cook? From there, we had sleep. You're committed to getting how many hours of sleep per night, right? With that, what time are you waking up and what time must you go to bed? And then last but not least is stress. And you're committed to de-stressing how many times per week and in what way are you going to de-stress, right? It's important that you list this out, even if it changes, right? You're not married to what's on this list, right? You can change what's on this list. It's not like somebody is going to punish you if you don't do what's on this list. So it's up for change, right? And with that being said, that's going to lead you off into the next. That's what's going to lead you off into the next few weeks. Now, as a bonus, what I want to do is, whether you are deciding to train with me or not, I want to send you 8 weeks worth of training that you'll be able to do with very minimal equipment. This is the 8 weeks that we did in the park, right? The first time that we worked out in the park, it was over a year and a half ago, right? And this was done with kettlebells, with bands, and with body weight. Very similar to the training that we do now, and it builds along the way. So week 1, you'll have this. Week 2, you'll have this. Week 3, you'll have this, and you'll be able to get all that. So I'm going to send that to you over email, right? And you'll be able to have access to that, and then, of course, work out anytime, anywhere with those, right? So with that being said, y'all, I'm looking forward to training with those that want to continue. For those that haven't gotten their shirt yet, please, please, please go and get your shirt, right? Come and get your shirt. I have them there waiting for you. And for those that are looking to get a shirt, I'm going to post something in the Facebook group soon, where the Schwefel Strength members Facebook group soon. So if you want a shirt, just let me know, and I'm gonna place an order for a shirt. So I'm getting pre-orders. So thank you for joining me for this call. If you're joining me on the replay, let me know what you thought. And if you're watching live, let me know what you thought. From there, y'all, let's go over everything. We had our gratitude, right? About reflect on how far you've come mentally, how far you've come emotionally, how far you've come physically as well. Those make differences, right? So you can see your progress. That's empowering to see what results that you ended up having. From there, we want to look at where we're at presently. So remember to measure, get your before and after photos, get your measurements, send those in to me. I'll send you a reminder halfway during the week. And from there, we're looking into the future. So make your action plan. Whether you are continuing to train with us or you are going to go out on your own, I'm going to provide you with 8 weeks of training. And then with that, you're going to be able to set out what it is that you're going to do. Train 2 to 3 times per week. Make sure you get 3 to 5 servings of vegetables per day, that you get a palm's worth of protein. Guys, 2 palms worth of protein per meal. And then, what was the last one? 6 to 8. No, let's go not 6, right? 6 isn't enough. 7 to 8 hours of sleep per night. If you can do that, boy, you're hitting the nail on the head. So I want to thank you so much for the opportunity to train with you, with the trust that comes along with that. I feel honored with that opportunity, and I hope that we can train in the future. Oh yeah, the options. Oh yeah, let me give you those one more time. Options to keep training. So we have the $12 single session. We have 10 sessions for $100, and then we have 100 unlimited sessions for $100. And whether you're choosing to continue or not, there is nutritional coaching through this world-class software called ProCoach, and that is $19 per month. So with that being said, thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm extremely grateful. I love the results that we ended up seeing with everybody, and I'm looking forward to seeing mainly the pictures, because pictures worth 1,000 words. Have a great evening, and we'll talk soon. Oh yeah, one more thing. You're unstoppable.